In the beginning was the Bird.
What you got? Domination, snot bubbles, crazy eyes, whatever. That's domination.
Terrence Copper is going to see some time tonight, very deep at the wide receiver position.
Now Reggie Bush lines up as the tailback. Reid swings it out to Bush. The ball is knocked away, and an incomplete pass, and a crunching hit put on by Sheldon Brown. And Bush takes a while to get up. And now goes down again.
He did not see that hit coming. He was looking back at the ball. That was a blind hit right there.
A great defensive scheme by Jim Johnson because he brought pressure, but he still had Sheldon Brown out in the flat to come and put up a big hit. Reggie Bush was completely exposed.
And maybe an early message by the Philadelphia Eagles defense on the road against the Saints. Timeout. We'll be right back.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
Continue to struggle. I'm just not so sure after this week.
Well, he's going to have plenty of time on the clock, even though he has no timeouts. Minute and a half, that's a lot of time.
Jeff Beagles will kick, and you know it'll be a directional kick attempt. Bounces at the 21 and picked up by Westbrook. Westbrook on the return. Here comes Westbrook. He's got a lead. Here comes Westbrook. He gets by. Brian Westbrook going all the way. Touchdown, Eagles. No flags now. And the Eagle bench is going wild. And this is all reminiscent of the Dallas Cowboys game in week number 2.
Why in the world do you punt that football where it can be returned? You're inside the 50-yard line. Why in the world are you not kicking that ball out of bounds? And you're talking about reminiscent. How about in the Cowboys game where they do kick that kickoff out of bounds? It cost them that game.
85 yards, Troy.
We talked about it earlier. Jeff Beagles is third in the NFL, putting the ball inside the 20-yard line. He did that twice in the first half. That time he doesn't even try to put it out of bounds. He tries to pooch punt it, and he gives him an opportunity to return it. Doesn't make sense.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
Just when you thought game on, game off. Brian Dawkins, safety blitz. He's done it his whole career. Chris Clemens, the big man. Clarence Clemens. Rosalita, jump a little higher. He's gone. 34-3 Eagles. But the Eagles defense not done. Because even when Dallas looks like they're going to score, Romo, Marion Barber inside the 5. Dawkins with another hit. Jocelyn Hansen. He could go all the way. 96 yards. I think of Alito Shepard, 99-yard, whatever it was, against Dallas in that park. Here's another one, 41-3. Then here comes the big man, Clemens again.
Wow.
Trevor Laws recovers for the Eagles. Tony Romo hurt. Cowboys shake their heads. Donovan McNabb and Brian Dawkins. Does that picture tell you 1,000 words right there?
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
Here at Giant Stadium, as the clock winds out on the Philadelphia Eagles, a game they thought would project them into a possible wild card position. It would bring them 7-5 had they won, but a late interception by the Giants will preserve a Giant victory. An upset win as the Giants lead 17-12, and we're inside 30 seconds. The Eagles have no timeouts. Wait a minute. Here's a free foot. I don't believe it. The Eagles pick it up, and Herman Edwards runs it in for a touchdown. An incredible development. Just like the opening game of the season when the New England Patriots were running the game out against the Washington Redskins. A fumble. This is the most astounding development. This is even more unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Zonka and Pizarczyk missed the connection. The ball hops up on the one hop to Herman Edwards. He's got an open lane right into the end zone with 20 seconds left while the Giants are running out the game with a 7. Look at Dick Vermeil. He can't believe it. I guess he feels he's got one coming after some of the close ones he lost. The opening game of the season, they beat the Rams all over the field.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
4th and 1 from just across midfield. Vick under center now. Juggles the snap, but gets it away. And McCoy has the first down and a lot more. In fact, a touchdown. A juggled snap, and he gets it away, and it's a 50-yard touchdown.
Unbelievable.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool. Come on. Holla at your boy today. While I'm out there, holla at your boy. Holla at your boy.
Me and the ball have a relationship, and sometimes they don't always listen to me. So I'm telling you, you need to holler at me today. Let's talk a little bit today. Come by and see me.
Holla at your boy tonight. Holla at your boy tonight. Holla at your boy. I need to see you.
Even a superhero needs allies for the coming battle. And no one inspires them like Brian Dawkins.
Can y'all feel that? Can you feel that thing that's oozing out your doggone hands? That thing that's beating in your doggone chest right now. Can you feel that? Can you feel what's about to happen on this field, man? Whatever you got today, I got to have it. Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool. Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
1948 hosted the NFL Championship at snow-swept Shibe Park, a game Van Buren almost missed.
Steve woke up and there was this blizzard, and he didn't think the game was going to be played, so he was at home. They finally called Steve and say, "Where are you?" He says, "You mean we're going to play?"
I had to catch 3 trolleys and walk about 6 blocks to the stadium. It was so much snow that at times I couldn't see their safety man from my halfback position.
Van Buren soon found that playing in the snow was far easier than commuting in it. He plowed through the snow and the Chicago Cardinals to score the game's only touchdown and lift the Eagles to their first NFL title.
With the championship riding on his shoulders, Steve Van Buren blasts off right tackle for the game-winning touchdown. And the Philadelphia Eagles become the 1948 World Champions by a score of 7-0.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
Saints defensive line not getting a lot of credit this year. They've given up a lot in the running game, but they put some pressure on Garcia thus far.
They really do. They got Hollis Thomas, a big run stopper inside, but also Brian Young, very quick upfield penetrator.
3rd down and 9. Again, Garcia flush from the pocket, and he has Dante Stalworth wide open. And Stalworth, in a foot race to the end zone, goes in for the touchdown. So they worked on Fred Thomas, as was their plan, and a 75-yard pass to Stalworth, and the Eagles tie the score.
They never got away from it. It's something they felt that they could take advantage of during the course of the game. We've already seen 2 shots down the field when they've gotten this matchup. Fred Thomas has won those, but it's a little double move. Look at the little hesitation. Fred Thomas bites on it. Dante Stalworth is off to the races.
So this capacity throng.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
This guy from the 700 level, he came running down the stairs and tackled everybody.
Special teams is an attitude, and Vince personified that.
It's all about his heart and his willingness to sacrifice himself for something that he ultimately just enjoys to do.
We're in Philadelphia, a city that loves its underdogs, like Vince Papale, an Eagle fan who 30 years ago tried out for and made it with his favorite team.
As the standings were all this game's about. I'm from around here. I know what preseason means. I lived it. I loved it. and I made it. You see a training camp, I see proving grounds. A place and a time to show what you can do, to find out who you are. Guys from everywhere and out of nowhere, looking for a shot, for a share of the spotlight, for the dream.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
Another colorful character was flanker Tommy McDonald, a little man who lived large.
He was a wild man, and everybody thought that he was always inebriated. Never take a drink, and he never had a cold beer or anything. He was a guy who probably could catch the ball better than anybody I ever threw to, as far as just sheer hands of catching the ball if he could touch it. Anything that he could touch, he would catch. You could throw it in a crowd and he would go get it.
Any ball that came near me, I wanted to be like a vacuum cleaner. I mean, it was mine. You know, I turned me on.
McDonald holds the distinction of being the last NFL player to play without a face mask. He led the NFL in touchdown catches twice and went to the Pro Bowl 6 times.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
Grace, how sweet the sound. Reggie White helped Neil Lomax off the ground for a third time. Looked at him and he said, Neil, Jesus loves you.
I'll take my chances with everybody else. We had to double Reggie White every single snap.
I mean, the guy had 21 sacks in a 12-game strike-shortened season.
That is a safety. Reggie White.
What in the world do we do with Reggie White?
That's Reggie White. He's right here. This guy is the most dominating defensive lineman in football. When he wants to rush like this, he's so big, so strong, you're not going to block him.
Time after time, he simply took command of the course of a football game, cutting a path of destruction through the opponent's backfield.
To get pinched by Reggie White. He hauled down Troy Aikman with his thumb and a forefinger.
Narrowed his field and was selected for teams the free agent will play for next season.
Today, Reggie paid a visit to Ohio.
More people attended a rally to urge free agent Reggie White to stay with the Eagles than went to the rally to celebrate Villanova's NCAA.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
That 1991 Philadelphia defense was, of course, one of the greatest defenses in the history of the NFL, and it was just electric to watch. And you could just feel that they were not only not going to allow anybody to gain any yardage on them, they were going to drive them backward.
Comes away from one man, they get him again. He's setting up, and he's sacked again. They've got him. Aikman looking, he goes again. They get him. He's under a rush, gets away from one man, but back tries Simmons, who gets him from behind. They are making mincemeat of the Dallas offensive line. I feel like a fight judge. 7, 8, 9, and out.
In Dallas, the Eagles sacked Troy Aikman 11 times.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
To the base of the, and I see the smoke, I hear the other guys getting announced, and, you know, just like a crescendo, I'm like, you know, getting hyped more and more intense, and all of a sudden.
When he comes out, you know, he transforms into that Wolverine thing. I mean, he believes in that. He just is out of his mind, and he maintains that now through the whole game. On fire the whole game.
I like that feeling. Being able to deliver that big hit at the right time to change the momentum of a game. If I can get you to think twice, I'm in your head.
You better tell him to get it down, Cooley.
Hit me all you want.
Yeah, but you gonna feel it, Cooley. I'm telling you, you gonna feel it.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool. Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
First play from about the 12, and there is Vick, as you talked about, John, rolling and launching downfield for DeSean Jackson, who accelerates, caught the opening play, and all the way for a touchdown. 88 yards. Backfield empty. First and goal, Vick. Dancing, running, in for the touchdown. Vick shoveling McCoy. 21-0 out of the gate, Philadelphia. And they're rolling on possession 5 on the right. Vick taking another shot. This from Macklin. Jeremy Macklin pushed off, caught it, touchdown. Great perspective on how wide Philadelphia spreads the field to give Vick room to run. And score again. Michael Vick, second rushing touchdown of the night. Vick keeping the play alive. Gonna find someone in the back. Touchdown of Vance.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
So now it's 4th and 26. Troy, we came on the air talking about this Green Bay defense you did. And it's the Green Bay defense which had been rising as the weeks wore on this regular season, having an off week, so to speak. Their last effort against Seattle. Now trying to stop a 4th and 26 and in essence take over. Plenty of time. Down the middle, it's Mitchell. Where will they spot him? They're going to get forward progress and a first down.
I am so surprised at that coverage. They play a cover 2, which leaves it wide open down the middle for the second time in a row. I thought for sure you get a 3-deep coverage. You've got 20-something yards to go pick up the first down.
And here comes an offside against Green Bay. Boy, they got a great spot after that catch by Freddie Mitchell.
Just running it right down the seam. There's no reason to play the underneath coverage at all.
Back to his line and relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
One more great defensive play.
Aikman's going to throw it if he has time. Picked off in the end zone by Willis. Willis laterals to William Thomas. This is Thomas. Troy Vincent down with the ball, and Vincent will stroll into the end zone. Talk about disaster. Unbelievable. The Cowboys were in position. They had the field goal. It's 3rd down. You don't want to force anything. Troy Aikman forced that one. But I'll tell you, I said that the Eagles had to come up with 2 great defensive plays, and they did. They come up with one where they stopped that run, and then that one where they intercept that for a touchdown. Now you're talking football. The total return, 105 yards.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
From the 9-yard line, first down.
Twisted his ankle, missed a couple of plays, comes back in, and it's 91 yards. Just able to stay in bounds down the left side, and he comes off hobbling.
That is the longest play in the National Football League from scrimmage.
I think he has them all.
Season.
Yeah, I think he has every one of them. And I don't know what he's doing over there now, just exhausted. But that was unbelievable.
Up on top by 7.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
Now it gives me great pleasure to present the new coach of the Philadelphia Eagles.
And Vermeil represented that to the fans and to the city. He was a young, energetic guy who had no connection to the team or the losing or the past. He didn't know about any of that. He didn't care about any of that.
A team with real character can beat people. With a team with better talent, that the game doesn't mean as much to. We're not going to go out and get a lot of great players all of a sudden. We've got to make the people we have better. And that starts with the mind. That's where it starts. You're only as good as you think you are.
Get to him, Leroy. You're going to have to be quicker than that. That's not quick enough.
Our training camps were grueling. I'm telling you, when you talk about 7 weeks of two-a-days.
It was like the Bataan Death March. There was no beginning. There was no end. It was like just being in a time warp. Whether it was a rookie or a 15-year vet, you could just sit down at a training table, lean over and say, "Isn't this guy's killing me?" Yeah, me too. You know, you sort of go on to all the things he was doing to you.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
12 years. 12 years have gone by since the Eagles have been a winner. We're going to come out winners today. You worked like winners. You played like winners. Sure, we won a couple we should have lost. But I'll tell you something else. We've lost a few we should have won. We're right where we ought to be, playing for the first winning season since 1966. Hey, God love all of you.
Hey, all right. Good fight.
Finally, you reached the pinnacle of what you set out for, and to be a damn winner, and it happened. And
that could seal it up. Huh? Eagles are winners, Ronnie. The Eagles are winners.
my chest was bursting out and my eyes were welled up, and I felt so darn good that we had accomplished it.
We're winners, sir! We're winners!
In just 3 seasons, Dick Vermeil had turned Leonard Toews' Eagles into a playoff team.
That was for you. That's for you. Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
Manning takes the snap, he's back again. He looks, he fires, touchdown Kevin Boss. And that should wrap it up. Boss, 9 yards deep, center of the end zone. 31-10, Eagles down by 3 touchdowns. It's been done. It's almost into the miracle stage. It is 1st and 10. They stay in the spread formation with the slot to the far side of the field. 7:45 to go in regulation. Takes the snap, he's back. He's looking. He floats it. Complete. Good. Right with the football is Seller. At the 20. At the 15. 10-5. Touchdown! Rod Seller. And it is 31-17. Akers to kick off. It's an onside kick. Covered by Riley Cooper. Riley Cooper has it. And the Eagles recover the onside kick. They are moving quickly. 7-14, 7-13. Eagles trailing 31-17. Vick in the gun. McCoy to his left. Ball comes back to Vick. Here comes the rush. He ducks under a man. He's going to run. 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. Vick at the 10. Dives down at the 6. Oh, my goodness, the Eagles are alive. Eagles are only 2 for 9 on 3rd down conversion. But this is the biggest of all. 3rd down. It goes to Vick. Quarterback draw. He's in. We've got a 1-touchdown game. You better believe there are a lot of nervous stomachs in the stadium right now. We have seen our share of miracles in Eagles-Giants game. All right, 5:21 remaining. Years ago, a Giants beat writer, I believe for the New York Star-Ledger by the name of Jerry Eisenberg, wrote an excellent book called No Medals for Valor. And there aren't in this game. You win or you lose, but give the Eagles some credit for coming back and fighting with everything they're worth, which earlier in this game wasn't very much, but they have changed this game. The Eagles are 88 yards and 7 points away. What a game this has turned into. Vick's back. He's looking. Here comes the rush. Vick rolling. He's going to run. 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and he is hit as he comes out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Michael Vick has given the Eagles life. 2:18, 2:17. Can Vick complete the job? On 2nd and 10, Vick takes the snap. He's back. He's looking. He steps up. He's going to run. He's at the 40, 35, 30. Cuts to the outside. Down at the 20. Down at the 19 goes Michael Vick. And that will take us to the 2-minute warning. Hang on to your seats, ladies and gentlemen. This is something special. 1:40 to go in regulation. Can the Eagles make it all the way back? It is 2nd down and 3. 1:28. The ball at the Giants' 12. Vick in the gun. He's back. He looks. He fires. Complete. It is to the Macklin, and Macklin sidesteps and runs in for the touchdown! Macklin, corner of the 5, and this places it in a state of shock. A 13-yard touchdown pass to Jeremy Macklin. This is unbelievable. We're tied. We are tied at 31. Mike, I have not seen anything like this. If somehow, some way, the Eagles win this thing, I will tell you right now, this will be the most memorable Eagles game I will have ever broadcast. Akers to kick off. 31-31. The Eagles have made it all the way back. I have never seen anything like this. Manning in the shotgun. He's thrown 4 touchdown passes today. He's back. He steps up. He's hit. Down he goes! 14 seconds to go. 31-31. Matt dodged the punt. Gets a high snap. Gets it away. It's a knuckler. Jackson takes it at the 35. Picks it up. Looks for running room. He's at the 40. He's at the 45. Midfield. He's at the 40. He's going to go. DeSean Jackson. I don't care if he jumps, dives. He's running around. And he's in the end zone. And there's no time. And the Eagles win. The Eagles win.
This is Miracle in the Meadowlands #2.
He ran around until all the zeros were on the clock. And the Giants fans can't believe it. And the Eagles have just pulled off the most remarkable win I have ever seen.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
Those birds. Great job. Great job, you little midget, you. Unbelievable. Hey, that little thing in there, we pulled it out. Hey, very proud of you. Wow. Very proud of you. Hey, listen. The pedal stays to the metal for 2 more.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
Jiu-jitsu, and may be the most dangerous kicker in NFL history.
There were times when Dave would run down the field and hope, they crack us a little bit because he was going to fill a hole. He's like a mini linebacker.
Well, Dave was good at it, and he does enjoy it. And matter of fact, I have to kind of calm him down. There was a while when he was younger where he was trying to beat everybody down there and be part of it. I wasn't big on that.
There was one game where he broke his nose early in the game, right?
Yeah.
So I chucked the guy in the back. And then he got ticked off, saw the kicker just threw him on his face. Then the next kickoff comes, and he just totally said, I'm not going to block my guy. And he came after me, and I got an elbow right across my nose. Busted me up pretty good.
So now that kickers like Akers have a taste for blood, returners should consider themselves warned.
watch out, because we'll bring it,
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
No game epitomized Buddy Ryan's defense more than
the body bag game. We'll just beat you into submission with our defense.
There were 12 or 11 Redskins that were carted off the field. And I can remember doing the show the day after that body bag game. And I never saw anything like it.
He's hit. He fumbles. The Eagles are after it. Simmons has it. At the 10. At the 5. Touchdown.
We got a ball for you. Great job.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
Game.
The last game of the year, every year, I would go dressed as Santa.
5'6", 140 pounds, undersized kid with a ratty, scraggly Santa Claus outfit. Terrible little costume. But they go up to him and they pull him and they say, listen, our Santa didn't show up. You want to be the guy.
And he said, just walk down the center of the column and wave to all the sections of the stadium.
He was a sitting duck. I mean, you could have imagined that there was going to be trouble just because he was so close.
As I was starting to walk back, I saw the snowball starting to come, and then I started getting hit with them.
And all of a sudden, Santa Claus is dodging and ducking, and there's a full stadium full of people just wailing away at Santa Claus.
I remember watching a fella make a snowball and throw it at me, and I just walked up to him, you know, at the bottom of the wall there, and I said, you're not getting anything for Christmas.
When he dies, you already know what the first line of his obituary is going to say. Frank Olivo, the Santa Claus who got pelted with snowballs that winter day in 1968.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
I don't know what else could possibly feel like a playoff game. I mean, two teams right in the mix, 27 degrees, and yeah, look at that picture. Snow coming down hard for the first time for Philadelphia, but they give to McCoy. Big hole, and the move! McCoy through the snow! Touchdown! 143 on a first down. It's McCoy sprinting through the line. McCoy! LaShawn McCoy! And we're all tied! Trying to run the game out, and they've got a big play to sell it! And he's going to slide down safely, and the Eagles will run out the clock.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
Start Brian Westbrook in the backfield, and Terrell Owens. Everybody, all eyes, all attention on T.O. and how this will all work out.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised to see the first play if they don't try to get the football to Terrell Owens.
He looks his way, fires it his way. There's Owens at the 45, inside the 20, and on the first play at Philadelphia in an Eagle uniform, Terrell Owens takes it 81 yards right on the jersey number. Bill, you called it. First play, they went right to Owens for the big strike. Jim,
relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
Westbrook and L.J. Smith.
Three wide receivers in. Everybody goes out. McNabb gets time. Waits. Throwing deep downfield. Touchdown. They did it again. Terrell Owens with his 7th touchdown of the game. Ooh. That's not much of a celebration as he goes after the Browns fans, throwing the ball against the wall.
Well, it was
39-yard touchdown pass.
It was the sign that says T.O. has B.O.
Well,
and he threw the ball right into...
Now it makes your safety. You're playing man free underneath here. See, this is man with a free safety. Well, he looks in at Pinkston and he jumps it. See, look, he jumps Pinkston right here. See him step in? You can never let T.O. get behind you. Never, as a free safety, let T.O. get behind you. That's Errol Little there.
William Green and Terrell Smith.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
Later, Eagles 3rd and 10 on their own 25.
Four-man rush. And then coming through at the last moment, but escaping, McNabb rolling to the outside, coming back this way, has a lot of room, is going to launch one. He was behind the line of scrimmage, and that is Freddie Mitchell making the catch.
That is amazing.
As you take another look, check out how long it took from the time of the snap to when McNabb releases the ball. Asked what he was thinking about at this time, Donovan said, I was just thinking about not getting sacked. And then after all that running, what a throw, connecting with Freddie Mitchell. One of the best plays you'll ever see this.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
Since the turn of the century, eastern Pennsylvania steel mills have nurtured a special breed of men. 4 generations of hardy immigrant stock have been forged in the fiery furnace of the open hearth. One such steel town is Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and one such man is Charles Bednarik. Bednarik's combative nature was defined forever by one tackle he made in 1960. Frank Gifford of the New York Giants was on the receiving end of a hit that reverberates still in the hearts of Philadelphia fans.
And I remember one time somebody said to me, what do you want to be most remembered for? And I said that I was a guy that came from poor people, made it big, got all the adulations and all the awards that you can get that any athlete ever got, and I never forgot my friends and my roots, and I want to be back home here with them. You got to play with that killer instinct, man. You got to hate that guy across from you. Then after the game's over, tell him what a nice guy he is. Shake his hand, especially if you win, right?
Chuck Bednarik, a legendary lineman in whom reality matches the myth.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
Stars up over the ball. This will be it. Stars back to throw. He takes time. He throws over the middle.
I had him right here in my sight, and I made sure I knocked him down to the ground, and there was still about 9 seconds to go, and I could see the clock up there going 8, 7. He's squirming to get the heck off of it. When I saw 0, I looked down at him. I said, you can get up now, just like again. This effing game is over.
The game's over. The game's over. The Eagles are the champions of the world. Listen.
It was like something out of mythology that Bednarik not just would have played 59 minutes of that game at his age as the oldest man on the field, but that he would be the one standing there making the tackle that ended it. That's Roy Hobbs stuff right there.
They've been called a team with nothing but a title, but they captured more than that day. From Fishtown to Kensington to the main line, the 1960 Eagles won over the hearts of Philadelphia with a magical season. It would be the only postseason loss Vince Lombardi would ever suffer, and the last pro football championship the city of Philadelphia has seen.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
With the score tied late in the fourth quarter, the Eagles' defense made a legendary stand.
Eagles complete it. They stop the Cowboys here. They give it to Smith. He does it back in and stop them. The Eagles take over on downs. The Eagles take over on downs. The referees are talking. We've got the problem. We've got the problem. Oh, they're going to call the 2-minute warning. They're going to say it was no play. Eagles stop them once. Can they stop them again?
The Cowboys obviously now have the opportunity to rethink this and decide, yeah, maybe we should punt it away. And Switzer says, no, we'll just go for it again, which further drives home the point these guys don't respect us.
of the game. Ball is spotted. The kick is away. It's long enough. It's gone! Eagles beat the Dallas Cowboys 20-17.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
This is great. 1981, Eagles-Dallas championship game. Wait till you take a look at these classic Philadelphia Eagle fans. You really gotta love the old Nest of Death fans. But you really have to take notice. It's like 15 below zero. These guys have their shirts off. But take a look at my man here. Look what he's holding in his hand. A bottle of liquor at the vet, a.k.a. the Nest of Death. Look at these nutbags. They're true fans. But then again, when you're drinking rum, or whatever they're drinking, probably don't feel nothing.
Minus 17 chill factor. That time the
Minus 17 chill factor. They're holding a bottle of liquor in their hands. And they're pretty much skinless. Oh, God, or shirtless.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
We want Dallas. Dallas, we hate you. Dallas, right here at the vet.
Ever since Dick Vermeil became the coach, he had been building towards beating the Dallas Cowboys. And now here you were, playing for the championship against the team you had been thinking about and pointing towards all these years.
Years back, when we were struggling to win 5 and 6 and 7 games, a lot of people used to take the Eagles for granted. A lot of guys have heard me say, never allow anybody to take you for granted. If the Dallas Cowboys are going to take us for granted, we'll whip their ass.
Second down and 10, the Cowboys with 6 defensive backs. Jaworski gives off inside, running over the right side.
I still remember.
We going to New Orleans.
I'll tell you where you're going. You're going to Super Bowl. He's going to Super Bowls where he's going.
After 20 years of frustration, the Philadelphia Eagles had finally earned the right to be called a champion.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
Part of your screen. Here comes a flag. Pass end zone. Touchdown Eagles. Foles for Riley Cooper. End zone. Touchdown. Right now the Eagles with a first down at their own 37. Foles is airing it out for Riley Cooper. He's got it. That's a touchdown Eagles. McCoy splits out as a receiver, top of your screen. Foles looking in the end zone. Throws there. Touchdown Eagles.
Your helmet slides up and hits the helmet of the quarterback. It becomes helmet to helmet.
Wide open. LaShawn McCoy dashing to the end zone. Touchdown Eagles. Foles is going deep sideline. DeSean Jackson is alone for another Eagle touchdown.
They've been down here in the red zone.
Foles has it. Throws end zone. Touchdown Riley Cooper. That's 7 for Nick Foles. 7 touchdown passes today. And that equals an NFL record.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
A field goal attempt. Bailey's career long is 53 yards. Orton starts. Oh, and it's intercepted at the 40-yard line by Brandon Boykin. Brandon Boykin with his 6th of the season. Woo. And that's the way it's going to end.
They're going to double out here on Witten, and then Kyle Orton comes late over there. He wanted to go to Witten. Instead, he throws it behind Miles Austin. And that young man right there has been absolutely huge. They were sweating it out. Were they going to get Brandon Boykin in the 4th round? And he has just been monstrous. And for Kyle Orton, oh my goodness.
And for Jerry Jones, it's another year of the season ending before January.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
All right, bring him up.
McNabb, dude. McNabb.
Gentlemen!
Is good here?
Yeah, that's cool. Just put your park brake on. Donovan McNabb.
Hey, guys. I'm Donovan McNabb. I play quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, and I'm here to tell you that you can too if you start every day with a hearty breakfast from McDonald's. Like the new sausage, egg, McGriddle value meal, available now for limited time for under $5. Remember, guys, real champs, eat at McDonald's. I'm loving it. Can I get the check? That's good. What the hell was that?
Thanks, Donnie.
That was not Donovan McNabb. That was not Donovan McNabb.
Yes, it was.
It was like a McDonald's plug. Was that the guy from the Cosby Show? Was that the guy from the Cosby Show?
That
was the guy from, yeah, he was married to Seinfeld. Alvin. They had Raven Simone. That's so Raven.
That's not the guy from, you know what? Splits!
Oh.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
The team of green here in full force. Those are the Eagles fans who are making their last pitch for the Eagles to draft Ricky Williams and not quarterback Donovan McNabb.
That's not the biggest lens I've ever seen. I bet you can see my heart bumping.
With the second pick, the Philadelphia Eagles select Donovan McNabb, quarterback, Syracuse University.
Sometimes what your fans want on draft day turns out to be something that down the road they're saying, well, thank God we didn't go that route.
They weren't booing Donovan. They were booing Eagles management for not picking Rick.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
In 1999, Andy Reid rolled into town to rebuild a broken-down Eagles team, just as he had restored his father's 1928 Model A.
What you've done here has been a real nice turnaround, not in terms of victories, but in terms of quality of play. And I think people that understand football realize.
All right, here we go. Hey, let's see what we got here, Five. Let's see what you can do with this offense right here. Come on, Five. I'll tell you what, that's a nice shot right there. That's a way to go right after it. That's a way to go right after it.
You can liven this thing up.
Here we go.
That's your deal. And if I back off, I'm giving it to you. Okay? That's all I'm looking for. But this is your show. How you go, it goes. All the way.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
And he's going to stop and be hit and brought down and sacked. The football comes loose, and McNabb is hurt. McNabb is hurt.
Well, McNabb got twisted like a pretzel, and he was almost doubled over backwards. And you can see the right knee being twisted.
He's starting to kind of, like a warrior, get back up to his feet.
After leaving with what was thought to be a sprained ankle, McNabb returned for one of the gutsiest performances in recent memory. With no rushing attempts for the first time in his career, McNabb willed his team forward by throwing 4 touchdown passes on a broken leg.
He's looking. He is firing down the left sideline. Caught for a touchdown by Todd Pinkston.
He's making plays on a bad knee, a bad ankle, and he made that look like he had done it every day of his life.
Look at McNabb hobbling. He can't even run.
No, he can hardly walk.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Falcons couldn't get a grip on number 5.
McNabb fakes. He's back. He has time. He steps up. He rolls. He's still on his feet, still rolling. Now fires the pass and completes it on the far side to Freddie Mitchell.
On this frigid afternoon, the most sensible strategy for Andy Reid was to run more than pass. It started in the trenches with blocks from number 71, Jermaine Mayberry. Number 77, Artis Hicks. And number 69, John Runyon.
McNabb comes back to Westbrook again. He's got a hole at the 45-50, 45-40, 35-30. Down to the 25 comes Brian Westbrook.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
In the gun is Vick. He's back. He's looking. Still looking. Dashing to his right. Starts up the middle. He is hit and leveled at the 5-yard line. He is greened by Hollis Thomas.
The hit by Thomas denied the Falcons a touchdown. Then it was Brian Dawkins' turn.
Bryce heads down the field. Vick throws back center of the field. Caught. Kirkland. Oh, he held on and took Dawkins. Vick hit at the 10.
Dawkins doesn't get over in time enough to pick the football, but what he can do is level a pop, and boy, he does.
Dawkins' broadside sent a message. The Falcons would never come close to scoring again.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
With one more play call from Brad Childress and the offensive coaches, the Eagles finished the Falcons for good.
McNabb fakes, rolling, firing,
Touchdown.
and it is complete to Chad Lewis. That could pretty much lock it up. What a day. When crunch time came, this team and this crowd snatched the game away from the Atlanta Falcons.
The touchdown was accompanied by a cruel twist. Lewis suffered a foot injury that would keep the longtime Eagle out of the Super Bowl. It didn't stop him from celebrating.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
You can hoist upon him.
Let's go to Jacksonville.
And the best fans in the NFL, the fans who have suffered in anguish for so many years, have finally been rewarded by their great football team. The Eagles are headed for Jacksonville. The Eagles, for the first time in 24 years, are headed to the Super Bowl.
We're going to the Super Bowl! It's our season! For the happiest days of my life. Right here.
Congratulations, Coach. Will Terrell Owens be playing in Jacksonville in Super Bowl 39?
Well, I have a feeling he will.
All right, you heard it right there.
With or without Terrell Owens, they had proven themselves to be a worthy contender for football's ultimate pride. The Philadelphia Eagles, at long last, were champions of the NFC.
Yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about! That's all! You can't win it unless you're in it, baby. You know what I'm talking about? That's what we're going
T.O.,
you ain't ready.
We're going to win.
You ain't ready.
We're going to win. Going back to Jacksonville, baby.
He was crying like a little girl.
Hey, man. Yeah, I was crying.
You still borderline crying now.
That's what you are, man.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Hey, where are we going next week? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
We're going to do ball camp.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
Well, the last time you may remember, Sproles had it bounce, and it cost him big-time field position. And he will handle this one from the 18-yard line. Look out. Sproles down the sideline with a punter to beat. Still on his feet, no penalty flags. 100-yard return on an interception by Jenkins. And now an 83-yard punt return for a touchdown by Darren Sproles. And don't forget, oh, by the way, a block punt return for a touchdown in this game.
And sometimes it's the block you don't make. Watch Chris Merritt goes 42 because he makes a really intelligent play downfield. He's going to come from all the way in the interior, and watch him here. He could throw a block against Nate Ebner to be a clip. See what he does? Look at that. See what he does? He just kind of shields him off and doesn't throw the block.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
Philadelphia's answer to the great Houdini was quarterback Randall Cunningham, a one-man show who often left his audience in utter amazement.
Great ability as an athlete.
He's leaping. He's diving. He's there.
Some people think that's offensive to players. He was a great athlete.
I don't think I've ever seen a quarterback who had as much basic physical talent as Randall Cunningham.
You know, when I first saw Randall, our first minicamp, I thought this guy would be the greatest quarterback of all time. I really did. He had that kind of talent.
We were in Buffalo, and I said, I know Bruce Smith is coming. At the split second I needed to, I ducked, and he went over me. I said, whoa.
He ducks under 3 men. He's looking. He's rolling. He's heaving it deep downfield for Barnett, who leaps and has it at the 40. Barnett's going to score!
Some of the things I did on the field, I don't know how I did them.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
I think it's part of almost a birthright of a Philadelphian. And, when you see the people that are going to the games at the Link now and supporting the Eagles now, there's no bandwagon element to the fan support in this city.
Listen to the crowd. They are roaring.
Their fathers were at Veterans Stadium in January 1981 on that bitter cold day when the Eagles beat the Cowboys. And their grandfathers were at Franklin Field in 1960 when the Eagles beat the Packers for the NFL Championship. And their great-grandfathers were in the snow in 1948 at Connie Stadium when the Eagles beat the Chicago Cardinals. I mean, the Eagles are precious to the people in this town. They're a family heirloom that's handed down from generation to generation. That's why the people stay with them year after year, through the bad times, through the losing seasons. I mean, for the people in this town to jump on and off a bandwagon, as they say, or they do in some other cities, and abandon the team when it loses, it's not going to happen in this town. That would be like taking your family album and putting it out at the curb for the trash man. I mean, because the Eagles are part of your family. They're part of who you are. And that's why I think this is the #1 football town. Because it's been a long time since this team won a championship. And yet the fans every year have the hope that this is going to be the year. And they show up year after year waiting for it to happen. That's the definition of loving football, and that's the definition of loving a football team.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool.
A neck injury sidelined Dawkins for most of the first half of the season. The Eagles struggled without him.
Sometimes I get the worst of it. Excruciating pain. And there's nothing you can do but lay there and cry. I was mad at the fact that I knew that I had to come out the game. You just go give everything you got, knowing that it could hurt, but that this is going to be something that you're going to send a message to the opposing team, and you're going to also send a message to your teammates.
Man, hey, let's go, God dog it, man. Let's go. Don't let Neymar get in, man. Let's go. Damn it, let's go.
We count on him, and when he's not out there, we miss a little heartbeat.
Love you, boy. No, we do. Let's go represent. Yes, sir. All night long, let's represent.
He's accomplished a lot in this league, and I'm not even speaking just on the football field. He's helped so many young players.
Whatever we need, you be that thing. You be that leader that I know you are. In here, baby, that heart and that chest. Be that tonight.
Brian Dawkins is a Philadelphia superhero. He's won more games than any other Eagle. More important, he's won the respect of both his teammates and his opponents.
Beat Dawkins. Always going to be a fun game today.
Brian Dawkins is one of my favorite players of all time. Of all time. This passion for the game is so obvious.
I'm like Michael Jackson before he went crazy. I'll be there.
I knew someone that would die for me. The most dominant defensive player that I played with in my 15 years.
This ain't the end. This is the beginning. We need to finish what we started in training camp.
It shows that it can be done, that you can be an absolute madman on Sunday afternoons between 1 and 4:15, and then also handle yourself with decorum and like a gentleman and a class individual. That's why I think Brian Dawkins someday will be in the Hall of Fame, and it'll be a well-deserved honor.
Relax, have a good time, and most of all, act the fool. First of all, hallelujah! And then, I tell you what, I'm going to give all the credit to Michael Vick. We give him enough respect, but nobody respected us as a defense. Give me some respect right now.
Show the love, Philadelphia. Now, I saw the interception was huge, but Howie and I and JB and Coach Jimmy Johnson were watching, and the hit on Algie Crumpler after the catch was pretty much a statement.
I tell you what, I wanted to set a tone. We wanted to set a tone as a team. It's not just me, it's them defense, it's my line, it's Burgess, it's Curse, all the boys tried. We came and we brought it. Every doggone play.
I love this guy, man. A no-name kid from a no-name college. Size, arm talent. He's got the whole package.
Are we switching roles soon?
With the second pick in the 2016 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Carson Wentz, quarterback, North Dakota State. 237 pounds. How tough is he? Philly's gonna love that.
Vikings
today.
Lamar Jackson is a very exciting quarterback.
Kid's gotta go.
Kids gotta go.
No.
Kids gotta go.
This kid comes here and he wears a fucking Viking shirt. You expect us to have him?
Well, the Philly crowd was tough. After John Kennedy was shot, we went up to Philly, and you're talking about really taking it to us. It was like we, the Dallas Cowboys, had assassinated John Kennedy.